end, and you should have the permission to record on your end as well if
Okay,
you want to do that.
that's perfect. Thank you.
All right, and you have 10 minutes. We'll send you a 2-minute warning.
Beautiful. Thank you. So first of all, it's an honor to speak to all of you today. So first, I want to know what was going through your mind when you found out this movie was going to Tribeca?
Oh my God, it was absolutely thrilling. You know, during the dark months of the pandemic, we kind of never thought this would be possible. So the idea that finally, you know, we're at an in-person festival in New York, sharing this film with New York is just amazing. We couldn't have dreamt this was actually going to happen. Thrilled.
What about you, Rory, Tiffany? Do you have anything you want to add?
I mean, yeah, it was, as Laura said, it's absolutely a delight, and I guess in some ways unexpected. And after the difficult year that's been, and we always said, we wanted this film to be something that, people could really engage in and feel inspired by. And, our mother's story is an epic story. It's deeply poignant, but it's also, very uplifting in some ways because she was so tenacious. And so I kind of feel like the trajectory of the film reflects that a bit. Like, this film had tenacity. It's been years in the making, and the fact that we're finally here is such a celebration.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, also because I think we're one of the first screenings, because the festival just opened yesterday. I think that people are just, itching to get back into the cinema and to watch something good. And I think that's what this film will give them. I'm so excited to see, how everybody reacts to it, because I think everyone is just so you're wanting to get back to normal and, and hear and watch some lovely stories.
And what would you say, Laura, was the biggest challenge about making this film?
I think that, it was, I really felt the responsibility of doing Jackie justice and, revealing her vulnerability as well as her power. And, so really, it was challenging to make sure that I was stripping back the layers and getting under the surface of it and really, finding her authentic, moving story, behind this big, powerful leopard print shoulder pad persona that was, she was very good at hiding the cracks, and I really wanted to expose those so that you could really love her, as a complete person.
And Tiffany, Rory, what was the most surprising thing that we think we're going to learn about your mom?
Oh gosh, what was the most surprising thing? I think that people think that she had this, incredible glamorous Hollywood lifestyle, which to a point she did, but there was also some, some real adversity in her life and some sadness and some turbulence. And I think that people will be surprised to find that out about her because, she went through very difficult times and yet she persevered. She never gave up. She kept on going. As I say in the film, her motto was girls can do anything. And she really proved that, even in adversity, she kept on going.
Rory?
Yeah, I concur with Tiff. I think it might be surprising to people. Laura does a brilliant job in the film of exploring, our mother's persona versus the real person. And she was this brilliant marketer herself. Like that was one of the reasons she was so successful, is because she had this very focused eye on how she was going to market herself and how she was going to market her work. But part of that was really adhering to her persona all the time. And we really wanted the world to see a more dimensional version of our mother and see, the whole complete woman that she was. And it's really, for us, so meaningful to see her at different stages in her life, the fact that we shared some of our home movies, so you can see her, away from the persona when she was just a mother, without the hair, without the makeup, so you see her trajectory. And I think that's what we want people to see about her, to maybe see, learn about her in a new light.
Beautiful. And your mom was an incredible woman. Loved her books and her glamour, obviously, because she was a gorgeous woman, just like you guys are. I mean, I can definitely tell you're her daughter. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, you share it. But anyway, was there anything that you wanted to add in the film that didn't quite make it in there?
Oh gosh, I think Laura really covered it. I mean, she dug deep and she really got like Rory said, she covers her through all the decades. So I think that Laura just made a beautiful portrayal of her life. I mean, we're really happy with how it came out. We really are, and we're so excited to be able to introduce it to her fans who love and adore her so much. But also, we want new fans to appreciate her and find her, because she's so deserving of that. So that's what we really hope comes out of the film.
What about you, Rory?
Yeah, I agree with Tiff, but I also think I don't think Laura did leave, and she had a choice of which direction to go in, and we really respected, as we entrusted her with the archive material, and we entrusted her with our mother's story, and we were, it was a risk on our part, but it was important to us that we had a good rapport with her. But I think there's something about our mother, even though she had huge success in life, Sammi, she was underestimated by a lot of people, and that is really seen in the film, particularly by this male-dominated publishing industry that she broke into in the early 1970s, late 1960s. She was one of very few women who were treading that ground at that time, and throughout her whole career, people were constantly attempting to diminish her in some way or another. And it was usually, she used to say, most of my critics have never read my work, which is true, I would think. But I think that she just had this tenacity, and Laura, that's really what we wanted Laura to show, was just how she was just so determined, and she really didn't give up on herself ever. So she gave women that potential that, if you really believe in yourself and you keep going despite all the obstacles and the adversity, you can get somewhere.
Yes. And Laura, was there anything you wanted to add in to that? Because was there anything that maybe you wanted to add in the movie that maybe didn't make it in?
Well, no, I mean, no, not really. I mean, I had a very clear vision for the film from the beginning, and so I was able to kind of realize that, which was just brilliant, because firstly, Jackie's daughters were just incredible, and we managed to establish a really great relationship and just really loved working together, and so it was kind of really there for me to grasp and to mold the film and to tell the story that I wanted to tell, and it was just just great. It was just a wonderful experience, I have to say.
And other than being a lady boss and showing that girls can do anything, what do you think is the biggest lesson viewers are going to learn from this? Because Jackie was such a powerful woman.
Well, I think for me, it's just a wonderful time to show this film. If you think about where we are now as women, even when I started making this film a few years ago, it feels like the world really has changed. At the beginning, I had to justify why I wanted to make this film, because Jackie was often looked down upon as the queen of sleaze or typecast, by lots of people. Whereas now, I really feel that we can celebrate her and her brand of feminism, and as women, we can say, we can define feminism for ourselves. I can say what feminism is for me, and it's about freedom. And Jackie understood that from such a young age. She learned things, she observed things around her, and she decided what kind of feminist she wanted to be. And she shared that with her readers. And if people wanted to, typecast her or dismiss her, she got a lot of knockbacks throughout her life. She dusted herself off and carried on. And I just think it's a wonderful time to celebrate that, and for younger women and all women to realize, we can be the women that we want to be, and we don't have to explain it, and that's definitely kind of how I see Jackie. And I just think so just a wonderful time to bring her story to the world, and for women to see it and be inspired by it.
What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I totally agree. Girl power, female power. She was writing these characters that have been in the news since she died. She died in 2015. And when you look at everything that's happened with the hashtag Time's Up and Me Too movement, and then all of these scandals, she wrote the Matt Lauer, she wrote the Harvey Weinstein, she wrote the Matt Getsish. They're all in her books. And she used to say she had to tone down the truth because nobody would believe the truth. And what's happened in the last 5 years is shocking, because if she'd written that, people would have, laughed her off the pages. But she was, she did have to tone down the truth. And so it's just interesting, really, what's happened in the world since she's gone. And we often say she'd be in her element talking about it now, commenting on it, because there's so much that's happened. It's incredible.
I would have loved to hear her reaction to all
Right?
of this. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Rory?
I guess just to say that what I'd love people to take away from it is that vulnerability can also be strength. And I think that was a hard-won lesson for our own mother. Like, she didn't, I think she was always fighting against that. She thought that if she showed herself to be too vulnerable, then that would somehow, be seen as a weakness. And I think that the culture is really changing around, mental health issues, and really exposing our vulnerabilities as strengths. And I hope people take that away, because she was a very vulnerable person, and she did, the film is all about how she kind of guarded against that, but at the end of the day she had so much strength, and that was incredibly very inspiring and very moving, particularly those last few years of her life.
And we are almost out of time, but I want each of you to describe the movie in 3 words, starting with Laura.
In 3 words?
Yes.
Oh my God, can the girls go first?
Sure.
Kick-ass female novelist.
Poignant, passionate, inspiring.
Fabulous, unexpected, and lady boss power.
We can make that. Yes, perfect. Well, ladies, it was incredible to speak to you. A huge honor, and good luck and congratulations on making it to Tribeca.
Thank you so much, Sammi.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Likewise. Bye-bye.